What's up, y'all? I am Tashima Chanel. Welcome to Pretty Outspoken, where we say the quiet parts out loud.
Brittany, what you thinking? Yeah, well, you said it.
We have the conversations that need to be had and say the things that need to be said. Let's jump right into it. Have you ever read a quote while you scrolling that just resonated with you? Or is super relatable that you just had to save it, unpack it for later? That's what today's episode is about. Never forget how they act with you to make someone else feel comfortable. And I want to talk about it in some depth, because a lot of y'all lack depth. Y'all like superficial, artificial, fake, surface level type of conversations. And this is a little bit deeper. I will never forget when a man said to me, "I'm not going to tell her that." You could tell her. Talking about being in a relationship, saying he got a girlfriend. He did not want to tell somebody that he had a girlfriend. He said, "I'm not telling her that." You could tell her that. I don't know this girl. Why would I tell her that? Right? Why would I say that? Another time, same person, it was like, you need to, not you need to, we'll have a back and forth. I probably did say you need to, because my mouth, I don't mean no harm by it, you know what I'm saying? But I guess people who don't really understand how I talk, I had to learn how to communicate differently. Still the same effectiveness, but not so. I had learn how to choose which words, how to properly structure and choose my words wisely, because people take them, what's the word? Because they'll take it differently than how I meant it. The intent behind it becomes misconstrued because of what they think I'm saying and not what I'm actually saying. So, when I say something like, "Oh, you need to," "Oh, you need to start blah, blah, blah," they'll say, I don't need to do anything. You can't control me. That's not what I'm saying. So with this particular person that I'm speaking to about, that was his, that's how he received it. And that's not how I meant it. And I think a lot of the problem is that men don't like to listen to women, especially to women they don't respect. So there's that. But I'm saying all that to say, there was another incident with the same person where he had a lot of exes that were still involved in his life. And I was like, I just feel like maybe you need to set better boundaries so that they don't feel so comfortable with being friendly with you. And I say friendly with quotation marks, because you know how some exes are still friends. Yeah. Disrespectfully. Yeah. I don't like that type of relationship. If you're not obsessed with me and you can't put somebody in their place for me as your girl, your woman, your lady, I don't like that. And so the quote hit home for me, because it said, "Never forget how they act with you to make someone else feel comfortable." It was always about other people. I couldn't say to my man, "Oh, nah, that makes me uncomfortable. I don't like that," and him do something about it. It was always a play to try to make me feel like I'm being unreasonable. He would say that I was insecure, and I'm not insecure. I don't have no issue with another woman. I just feel like as a man, you should be able to set boundaries for the women in your life. Because if you could be friendly with your exes, that means that you don't have no problem with me being friendly with mine. But if you have a problem with me being friendly with mine, which would automatically make me think that you and your friend or your ex are inappropriate. Because if I can't do it, why could you? You know? And I feel like in a relationship, a man should always want his woman to feel comfortable. And I feel like this with parents, in-laws, brothers, sisters, any type of family relational situation. It's not just exes. There should be boundaries set. Don't talk to my wife like that. Don't talk to my husband like that. Don't talk about my husband. You know what I'm saying? Keep that to yourself. I feel like there's not enough of that going on with the person in the relationship and their family. There's not enough. Both parties. There's not enough of that going on. I don't want you talking about my man. You can have your opinions. Everybody's entitled to them. I don't want you to talk about him in a disrespectful way. You know? That type of thing. So yeah, if a man move funny, or if somebody, even friends, if you could be around your friend and they act funny with you around somebody else, or they move funny with you when they around other people, watch that. Pay attention to that. Because that just means that they're comfortable with making you be uncomfortable. That means that there were conversations had that you don't know about. That's all that means. And the funny thing about intuition is that you pick up, at least for me, you pick up on it quick. Like, you could sense the awkwardness. You could sense something in the air. Like, you could feel it. I could feel it in the air type. You could feel it. And then when you start feeling it, you're like, Once you start to have the feeling of it, you bring it up. Like, hey, you know. And sure, should you have a certain type of delivery with it? Yes, if the other person on the receiving end of the conversation has an issue with how you talk, the delivery, your tone, all of that. Of course. You should think about your delivery before you give it. But I just feel like people focus on how you deliver the message than the message. And the metaphor I just got in my head was like delivering a package. You don't care really how the package come. They could throw it at your door. You still won't get it. The point is you get in the package. It don't matter how it comes. FedEx, UPS, DHL, USPS, all of them. It could be all of that. They're not going to have the same method of delivery. You still going to get your package though, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, you might care if it take a little long. But even with that metaphor, there's still preferences. You would prefer UPS over FedEx. There's a preference. So I can't even say that. But I will say, you have to start paying attention to how people move and act and react towards your discomfort for another person's comfort. You got to pay attention to that. And then you can move accordingly and act accordingly. These people out here be acting crazy. And then still expect good kindness treatment. Still expect you to do stuff for them. Still expect you to act a certain way with them. That's their expectation. They act like there's a problem with you bringing up the issues that you have with whatever situation it is. Now, this particular situation I'm referring to, this particular relationship I was in, there was problems everywhere. With family, with friendships, with exes, new people. He was literally all over the place. And never in the right place. You know, he was literally all over the place and never in the right place. We became cooler after we broke up, in my opinion. Like, our relationship became cooler after. But I don't hang with my exes. Nah, you an ex for a reason. Stuff didn't work out. We could be cool, cordial. There's only one ex that I really check up on randomly. He'll pop into my head. I'll be like, oh, let me call him. And his number been the same since forever. Not me. I changed my number quick. I'm about to change my number right now. Most of the people don't have it anyway. But yeah, I'll change my number quick. We need to start paying attention to how people move with us. I know people don't have the confidence that I have. And honestly, I don't know where I get it from. It got to be God-given. Because people will try to make you feel a different way about how you feel about yourself. Like, I always remember Cat Williams. He was like,
It's a thing of your motherfucking self, bitch. How the fuck can I fuck up how you feel about you?
I will never forget that. You can't ever make somebody feel bad about how they feel about themselves. Like, y'all some people be on a mission to make you feel bad about how you feel about yourself. Oh, you ain't even all that, or you think you all that, or you think... I think I'm great, but you don't got to. You are entitled to have an opinion about whatever you like. You don't have to think I'm anything. That's not going to stop me from thinking that I'm great. That's not going to stop me from thinking that I got good qualities or that I'm a kind person, or nothing that you can say is going to make me change how I feel about myself. And I feel like that gets lost. How other people feel about you. Like, I'm not going to ingest how you feel about me. How you feel about me is none of my business. All that matters is how I feel about me. And once you start embodying that and not caring about how somebody else feels about you or tries to make you feel about yourself, you won't get offended by certain things. You won't take stuff personally. You just, and if you are self-aware, and a lot of people aren't, and I don't know what kind of trials and tribulations do you need to become self-aware. I don't know. And when you're self-aware, that means you know your good qualities and your flaws. Because everyone is flawed. Perfection doesn't exist. And when it did, y'all tried to tear it down. Because you can't fathom God-given confidence. It's weird. But you always have to pay attention to how somebody moves to make somebody else feel comfortable. You have to pay attention to that. Because if they could be disrespectful to you to make somebody feel comfortable, if they could roast you and joke with you, and roasting I don't like. I'm not a fan of roasting because, and it's because if I start roasting, you're going to get your feelings hurt. That's why. Because roasting is really just like joking on true qualities, People will try to discredit you. They will try to like roast you or try to tell your business. And I feel like if somebody is telling somebody else's business, why you not telling your own business? Why I gotta be the topic of conversation when you could talk about yourself? When you could talk about the stuff you be doing? You could talk about the stuff that you do or did. The situations you be in. Why you always trying to talk about somebody else's situation? Be ashamed of what situations you were in, period. Because if you had known what you knew now, you wouldn't have been in those situations to begin with. So the situations are to help you learn. Obviously, we are all doing this life thing for the first time. Everybody has different experiences, okay? So it's a first time for everything that you experience, and everyone has different experiences with every similar experience. You understand what I'm saying? Like, two people could be pregnant at the same time and have two different pregnancies, it's a different experience. One person could be pregnant 3 times and have 3 different experiences for the same experience. That's all I'm saying. Like, we're all doing this life thing for the first time. Nobody gets it right. And spoiler alert, none of us make it out alive. Whole point is to live and be happy and stop taking offense to it, but note it so that you know how to interact with these people, because that really shows their true intentions. That's what people don't seem to understand. Nobody's going to tell you, hey, I don't like you. There's some people who would. Like, I wouldn't tell you to your... I mean, I would tell you to your face if the question came up. But if I don't like you, it's because I get a vibe. Your energy is off. Something feels not right, you know? And with that being said, you should act accordingly. You shouldn't be in somebody's face. You shouldn't be in somebody's face that don't like you. Shouldn't be around people that don't like you. Bad company corrupts good morals. They say it all the time. Because you're going to be around people who are like-minded. And if you can't be around people who are like-minded, you are really a loner. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you're the only person who understands you. That's okay. That's okay. It's going to be all right. You know, if people were more truthful and stopped trying to use other people, I mean, in a perfect world, right? If people were more truthful and didn't want to use you for certain things or to keep you around, to make their story, whatever narrative they paint in, or whatever picture they paint into other people. Because really, that's what, usually when you get around somebody that's moving funny and trying to make other people feel comfortable at your expense, is because they want to look better to certain people. They want to look better than you to certain people. And once you understand that, you don't care. Like, indifference is a good quality to have. And people, some people say, like, oh, the opposite of love is hate. It's not. It's indifference. If you don't care, you couldn't care less. Either way it go. You rock with me, cool. You don't, that's fine too, you know? And I feel like people don't have that. There's not enough of that. Indifference. I don't care. Like, people will try to make you be a hater. They try to provoke you and be like, I told you, look how she acting. No. I promise you I don't care. And listen, I don't claim to be perfect. I just feel like I got more common sense. And sometimes my common sense eludes me. I ain't even gonna hold you. Sometimes it do seem like she don't got it all together. And sometimes, honestly, I don't. Sometimes I'll be in a brand new situation that I have never experienced before, and I don't know what road to take. Sometimes that be the real issue. So I'm trying to assess the situation with the information that I have. Not even with all of the information that I need to make a good decision. Just with the information that I have. And when that becomes what it is, that's when the decision can be made. But would I'd rather make an informed decision? Absolutely. With all the information, one thing I don't like is secrets and lies. Well, that's two things. Two things I don't like are secrets and lies. I don't like them. Personal information aside. If you lying about being in a relationship, that's weird. Because what are you gaining from lying? But you just prolonging the inevitable. Somebody not talking to you because you ain't telling the truth up front. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Things of that nature is the things I don't like about people. Like you talking behind your friend back to your other friend who don't know the friend too well. Still give phony vibes. It still gives phony vibes. You having slick comments about your friend's accomplishments gives jealous and envy. I've been there too. On the receiving end and on the giving end. Not realizing that that's how it's coming off. And it was. That's exactly how it was coming off. So you live and you learn. Somebody had to point that out to me. Like, yo, you dropping them loads in there a lot. Oh, my bad. I didn't even know. You sound like a hater. Pardon me. One thing I did not want to be is a hater. So thank you for that. Thank you for pointing that out to me, because I will do better next time. You know? And I think that's really all it takes. But yeah, so to wrap it all up in a pretty little bow, watch the people that move funny to make somebody else feel comfortable at your expense. Watch those people. Because at the end of the day, they doing it for a reason. And it's usually on purpose. That's what we got to talk about next time. How people do stuff on purpose. Deceit is on purpose. It's intentionally lying. Intentionally hiding things. They do it on purpose. And all you gotta do is pay attention. They'll tell on themselves, bro. I'm telling you. They'll tell on themselves. It's crazy. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me and my rants. Because, you know, sometimes I just be talking to talk. Sometimes you might get a little gem here and there. But really it's because people don't like to listen when it's a crowd. It end up being like the Joe Budden podcast where everybody's talking over each other and you can't hear nothing. We can't hear y'all. That's a little side note. We can't hear y'all when y'all talking like that. So, the takeaway. Pay attention to how people treat you when they're trying to make somebody else feel comfortable. If they are willing to make you feel uncomfortable for somebody else's comfort, they don't with you. Pay attention to how you come off. You could fix yourself. You can't fix nobody else. Remember that. You could fix yourself. You can't fix nobody else. Learn indifference. Okay? Stop being offended by somebody else's opinion of you. Okay? Let them think whatever they want. You have a good, healthy, authentic, there's a different word that I'm trying to say. Realistic. Have a realistic opinion about yourself. Okay? Nothing superfluous. That might be a bit. It just means extra. Okay? Inflated. Okay? Make sure it's realistic. Positives and negatives. Okay? That's all. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this extra long podcast episode. And if not, if you made it this far, appreciate you. Until next time, I am Tashima Chanel.